burst of energy where you're absolutely ready to change your entire life, only to find yourself right back where you started a couple of days later. So, what's the deal? Why isn't that initial spark, that enthusiasm, enough to actually make things stick? Well, let's dive in and figure that out. First up, we've got to talk about the big problem with relying only on motivation. I mean, it feels amazing, it's super exciting, but when it comes to long-term success, it's kind of an illusion.
Just think about it. You see something that gets you pumped up, and bam, your battery just shoots up to 100%. You feel like you can conquer the world. You're going to start hitting the gym every single day, study for hours, overhaul everything. Starting tomorrow, of course.
But, and you know this is coming, right? That charge is just temporary. It's an emotional high, and what goes up must come down. The energy just vanishes, that excitement fades, and you're left sitting there with a completely drained battery, feeling frustrated and maybe even a little silly. And this is the trap, the cycle so many of us get stuck in. You dream up these massive goals, you get that incredible surge of excitement, and you make these huge, life-altering plans. And for a day, maybe even two, you actually stick to it. But that feeling isn't built to last, so you just slide right back into your old, comfortable habits. And the frustration, it just starts all over again. So, if motivation is the trap, how do we get out? Well, let's talk about the real secret sauce, the one thing that's behind all great achievements: discipline. And look, the difference between these two is absolutely everything. Motivation isn't a bad thing. It's actually a fantastic starter motor. It gets the engine turning over. But discipline is the engine. It's consistent, it's logical, it's dependable. It doesn't sit around waiting for you to feel like doing something. It just gets the action started no matter how you feel. It's funny, when you really look at people who are consistently successful, the ones who show up day in and day out, their secret is almost always a surprise. They don't really talk about staying motivated. They trust in a whole different system, one that doesn't care about their mood. They know that you don't rely on motivation, you trust in discipline. Now, to really get a feel for the power of discipline, let's look at a few stories and metaphors that kind of bring this whole idea to life. Okay, imagine a wise fisherman. He goes down to the river at the exact same time every single day. Doesn't matter if it's sunny, if it's pouring rain, or if it's freezing cold. Some days he catches a ton of fish, some days just a few, and some days he catches nothing at all. But he never ever stopped showing up. Why? Because for him, this isn't a hobby, it's his responsibility. If he only went when he felt like fishing, his family would go hungry. He's not waiting for motivation. He lives and breathes discipline. Here's another cool way to think about it. Motivation is like a bright flash of light, like a firework. It's spectacular, it's beautiful for a second, and then it's gone, leaving you right back in the dark. Discipline, on the other hand, is like a steady fire. It's not flashy, but it burns slow and consistent, providing the warmth and the energy you need for the long haul. So, which one would you rather rely on to get you through the night? Discipline also requires an incredible amount of patience, kind of like the story of the Chinese bamboo tree. For the first 4 years after you plant the seed, absolutely nothing happens above the ground. Nothing. The farmer has to water it and care for it every single day without seeing a single result. But then, in the 5th year, something truly amazing happens. The tree explodes out of the ground and shoots up to 90 feet tall in just 6 weeks. Was it magic? Nope. For 4 long years, it was building a massive, powerful root system underground. That's discipline. The work you're putting in today is building the foundation for tomorrow's success, even when you can't see a thing. Okay, so this all makes sense, but how do we actually apply it? How do you start building this discipline muscle in your own life, like right now? So the process is actually pretty straightforward, but it definitely requires commitment. Step 1, and this is the most important, stop waiting to feel motivated. Just stop. Second, create a simple routine that you can actually stick to. Third, and this is the tough one, do the work anyway. Do it when you're tired, do it when you're uninspired, just do it. And finally, focus on the small daily wins. Success isn't about one giant heroic effort. It's about doing the little things right, day after day, until they add up to something incredible. So in the end, it all comes down to this. Stop chasing that temporary high of motivation and start building the quiet, unstoppable power of discipline. It's not always flashy or exciting, but it is the key. So let's stop asking ourselves, how can I get motivated? And start asking, what small, disciplined action am I going